parents, this video is for you. So, a couple of weeks ago, when this whole thing was happening, I was thinking I should give parents some ways and some fun games to be able to play with the kids while they're at home so that they can be practicing their letters and not just doing flashcards and things like that, but having fun while you're doing it. So I put together a bunch of ideas. You can take some of them, you can take all of them, whatever you'd like, but I think your kids would really enjoy this if you did some of these fun games with them. So, first off, what you want is a pack of either 3x5 or 4x6 cards. So I only had 3x5 cards here at my house. So what I did, I just made some flashcards. So I had the letter P. I actually did uppercase and lowercase on each one. You could do just uppercase, just lowercase, whatever you'd like. But I just made a set of flashcards. I made them nice and colorful. So it's fun for them. So those are my letter flashcards. And then I have number flashcards as well. And I did my numbers all the way up to number 20. Same way, so that when you are practicing, you'll be using these a lot, okay? All right, so the easiest way that you can practice, take your flashcards and practice with your children. So Riley, why don't you come on over here and help me? Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'll hold up the card. If she gets it correct, she will get to hold the card. If she does not get it correct, I get to keep the card. When Riley or your child does not know the letter, right then is the time for you to practice and to review that card. So at the end, they have had some practice, all right? Are you ready? Riley.
P.
P, good job. What sound does P make?
P.
What does it make?
P.
Remember, when we make the letter P, we just say the P. We don't make a sound. Good. All right, you get that one. What letter?
Y.
What sound does it make?
Y.
Good job. Excellent.
K.
K. And what sound does the letter K make?
K.
So when you say it, why don't you try and say it 3 times when you say the sound? So, k, k, k. Okay, what letter?
I don't know.
You don't know what this one is? This is the letter D. What letter is this?
D.
D. Good job. And what do you know what sound the letter D makes?
D.
Yes, you're right. D, D, D. Good. Okay, so sometimes they're going to have a hard time with it. You just help them through it, okay? All right, so the next thing you want to do, this one's very similar to it, but watch as we do it. So all I do is flip the cards upside down. Riley's going to pull one out. Same thing. She likes it because now she's in control. She can figure out what card she wants to do. So this is a fun thing that we do at school a lot, actually. When she looks at the card, she tells me what the letter is and what the sound it makes. Or you can even have them say the sentence for it. For example, if she's had the letter D, she would say, D says D as in dog. D says D, D, D. So you could do it that way as well. So in the end, the fun thing about these 2 games is they can get a score. How many of her cards they have in their hands, then that will be their score. Maybe she got 13 out of the 26 right. Well, the next time that you play this game together, then you would see if they could get 14 or 15 or more cards than they did before from their review time. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is match letter cards and plastic or foam letters. Now, I don't have my foam letters with me. They're actually at school. But what they would do for this one is you would lay out some cards. Maybe you would lay out 5 cards on the counter or more, depending on the ability of your child. Then they would look through the foam letters that they have in a bowl or their plastic letters, and then they would match it up. So for instance, this is the letter K. They would look very carefully for the letter K inside their bowl of letters. Or if you want to challenge them a lot, you would lay all of the letters out on the counter or on a table, and they could match them all up and see if they are correct. Now, if you notice while they're doing it that it's not correct, just ask them about it. Say, oh, do you think this letter matches? Okay, yes, this is the letter K and this is the letter P. Let's save that one for later. So things like that, just doing it with them and not just leaving them with the task. Something like this might only take about 5 minutes, but it will be something that will be good for them. While you're doing it with them too, talking about those letters. Ooh, you did a good job with the letter K. What does the K sound make? K, k, k. So talking through it with them. All right, let's see what our next one is. All right, so this is a fun one. Riley, I'm gonna need your help again for this one. For this game, we are going to use our letter mat. Now, not everyone has a letter mat, so this one's good for those of you who do have a letter mat. foam letters that you can link together on the floor. Maybe some of you even have a rug in a playroom that has letters on it. So anything you can use for this. So what you want to do for this one, fan the cards out upside down. They're going to pull out a card. Then they're going to race along the little path that was made, and they will find the letter and stand on it. When they stand on it, they say the name and the sound. Okay, let's see. We'll do 2 of them just to give you an idea. What letter did you pull out?
P.
P. Good job, Riley. You are correct. And what sound does the letter P make?
P.
Very good. All right, let's put this one right here. You got that one correct. Let's do another one. And you can do this as many times as you want or as few times as you want. Maybe you can even tell them we'll do 10 letters today. And if they want to continue with it, you can just continue with it. That was a quick one. What is that letter?
K.
K. And what sound does K make? Very good. And if they got one incorrect, maybe they came to the letter L and they said, ooh, I don't know what this letter is. You would tell them, this is the letter L. What letter is it? And then they would repeat after you. Then you would say, do you know the sound of the letter L? And if they know it, they can tell you. If they don't know it, then you would just say it says, ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's do that over again. L says, ooh, ooh, ooh. So, all right, hope that was a fun one. We enjoyed doing this one, definitely. All right, here's another one. We have hide and seek with letters. Now, once again, I told you I don't have my foam or plastic letters with me, but most families have these, the foam letters for the bathtub or the magnetic ones that you can put. This is a hide and seek game. So what you would do is take five or so, how many ever you want, 3 to 5 letters and hide them around the house or maybe in a certain area. Have them go on a hide and seek hunt. As soon as they find the letter, come over, hand it to you, and tell you what letter they have and what sound it makes. Once again, you're not going to do all of these games in one day. Maybe you pick 1 or 2 or something that they'd like to do. So that's a fun one to do, a little hide and seek game. All right, so the next one kind of piggybacks on this one, but this one is a lot of fun. Easter is coming up this week. So I thought it would be fun to have a little scavenger hunt with Easter eggs, but inside of the Easter eggs are letters. Some are uppercase, some are lowercase. You can do it with numbers as well, or if your children are starting to read CVC words or 3-letter words, you could even write a word inside of this, and that would be exciting for them. So what you would do, just like a regular Easter egg hunt, you would hide the eggs, and then they would find the eggs, collect them, and then bring them all to you, and then you, one by one, you would open up the card, and you would say, oh, what letter is that? That's right, it's the letter R, and what sound does it make? Just like we've been doing with all these other practice games, excuse me. And another fun thing is that you can add a little treat in there for them too. So that would make it a lot of fun for them. So I do have some words in here, like the word bat, like the word mug, little letters like that that have a vowel, consonant, and vowel in it. All right, the next one is, we're not gonna go outside to do this, but if it's a nice day out, using your chalk and go out in the driveway and write lots of letters. Then, same way, you would say, oh, can you find the letter R for me? And they would run over to the letter R. Then you would say, what sound does the letter R make? And then they would say this for you. The more and more that you practice, the more and more they'll become familiar with it. Now, one suggestion for this with the chalk is that you don't do too many at once. I think if you did all 26 at once, they might feel overwhelmed. So maybe start with 5, then maybe add 5 more. You don't even need to use the cards for this one. You just think of what letters you've written together and find those letters. So that would be a lot of fun for them. The next thing is writing letters in salts. Or you could do something else like jimmies or sprinkles, anything you'd like. So what you do, you would put that in a tray. You would think of a letter, maybe one that you've been having a hard time with, and then you would write it in the salt or in whatever you have. So for instance, the letter, and then you ask them, what letter did I just make? And then they would tell you what letter it is, what sound it makes. Then you shake it a little bit, then you can even tell them, now I want you to write the letter that I just made. Good job, and just working on correct formation, and then go on to the next letter. So this one can be a fun one. We do this a lot in school, and they really enjoy doing the salt one. Okay, next one, Post-it notes. I bought a couple of packs of Post-it notes. So what you would want to do with this one is put letters on the Post-it notes. But the fun thing about this one is that you would put the letter on something that begins with that letter. So if I wrote the letter B, and I don't have my marker here with me, but if I wrote the letter B and then I put it on my bananas, okay, you want to give me it? B, okay? I would put it on my bananas. Once again, kind of like a hide and seek thing right here. Then they would go around and then they would look for these Post-it notes and then they would come and run, I found the letter B. What did you find it on? I found it on the bananas. And you would say, yes, banana starts with bananas. And then they would go and look for another one, R for rug, for couch, whatever you'd like to do. So this would be a lot of fun too. It only takes a marker and some Post-it notes that most of you probably already have. All right, so another one is making letters in Play-Doh. Now, I did not have Play-Doh here. Once again, it's at school, but we did have some clay. So what you would do is just together, do this as a fun thing together, but instead of just making eggs or whatever you'd like with Play-Doh, you would do letters with it. Now, a suggestion for this one would be to use your cards for this one, and you could even make bigger ones on your own. So what you would do, you would say, let's make the uppercase P together. So you would set it up so you could both see it, and then you would make your formation of it. You would make a line. Oh, that's a good idea. And if you're making it together, it's a fun activity you can do together. And then you would make the letter P together, and then you would talk about it. And while you're making it, ask them questions. What sound does the letter P make? What's a word that begins with the letter P? Popsicle, that's right. So things like that. It's a lot of fun to do things like that if you can do it together. All right, next activity is, let's see what we have here. Use Cheerios to trace over your letter card, and then you can eat them after you're done. So as you can see with this one, I made a little bit bigger letters. Now, if you had 4x6 cards, you could even make them bigger. And all you do for this one is put it right here, either on a tray or on a plate, and you would just trace right over that P. And really, while they're doing this, they know it's the letter P. They're seeing the formation of it and what it looks like. So that's what you would do, and after you were done, then you can eat them. That's the fun part, right? So that's that one right there. Another thing, DVDs. Now, this DVD right here, my son learned all of his letters and their sounds by 2 1/2. I actually just watched the video again yesterday. He just watched this DVD. It's only 35 minutes over and over again, and it's just really good. If you've never heard of it, I think it's $5 on Amazon. It's awesome. But it's called Letter Factory Leapfrog, so that's another good activity to do if you want them practicing. Things on YouTube are great if they're having a hard time with a certain letter, whatever it is. Go to YouTube. I guess Jack Hartman, I'd never heard of him before, but someone had told me about him. He's a great guy. I know there's so much out there for letters and practice things on YouTube. So, all right, and of course you can go to Brooks Bunch YouTube, and we'll always have practice there that they can do as well. Maybe you don't have time, maybe you're working with your other children with their schoolwork, which I completely understand. Don't feel bad if you have to have them do something like this for a day. This will be great practice for them. All right, the next one is Letter Bingo. Now, I'm going to be sending everyone a PDF of this. They have lots of pages. You don't have to print them all off, but this is a fun one to do. When we play bingo in school, the kids really love it. So what you would do, I'll just use the Cheerios, but you could use buttons, you could use pom-poms, whatever you'd like, beads to cover it up. So in that PDF, they also have all the letters of the alphabet. You'd put them in a bowl, you'd pull them out, you'd say, okay, find the letter L. Then they'd get their Cheerio and put it on the letter L. So all they're doing is looking for a bingo, which is 4 in a row for this one. So this was a really great one, and it's fun. If they're seeing all these things as games, it's learning at the same time, which is great for their age. All right, I think I only have a couple more here. Here's another one too. So these are just made out of 3x5 cards. I did all the uppercase on one half and all the lowercase on the other half. And all you would do for this one, you would lay them all out. And I actually did these color-coded, so it was a little bit easier for them to find. Okay, so I would lay them all out, and then I would say, okay, where's the lowercase a? There we go, and I would put the lowercase a with the uppercase A, the B. Where's the lowercase b? How about F? Here we go. The letter E, the letter D, and the letter C, and I don't know where the letter G is. But anyway, this just shows you how they can do a letter matchup, and it's a lot of fun. Once again, it's like a little puzzle or a little game for them. All right, I think we are almost done here. I did want to say, in practicing numbers, you could do a lot of these same games, and you could just change them up a little bit. If you use items to count, so here we have our number cards. If you lay the number 5 down and you say, okay, I want you to find 5 Cheerios. Count out 5 Cheerios for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoop, that one's only a half one. 5. And then you would count them together. So this is another great one that they can do, recognizing it and also being able to count out how many to make that number on the card. Also, another thing you can do is do the action of it, do the action. So let's say, let me do a different one, 16. Now this is a big one, okay? So they have to know and recognize that this is the number 16. And then you would say, I want you to pat your head 16 times. And then you would go 1, 2, you could do it with them or you could have them do it on their own. Now, if they go more than 16, then you would say stop right when you get to 16. Another thing is sometimes children like to do more than one action with the number. So they might go 1, 2, 3. Just teaching them that each time you say a number, you pat or you tap your nose or whatever you do. So that's important 1-to-1 ratio. All right, so a couple of reminders, and then I promise we'll be done. This was a long video, but I really hope it helped some of you and gave you some ideas of some things you could do with them. So you're not going to do all of these at once, and I said already. So pick ones that you say, you know what, hey, I have some salt. That'd be a great one for us to do today. 5-10 minutes, okay? And if they're really wanting more and wanting to do more, give them that time. If they're done after a few minutes, it's okay. It's okay, they're not in a school setting, so for them, sometimes learning at home is not as easy. They don't see others doing it with them as well, so just give them grace. Maybe even say, we're gonna do it 3 days this week, or let's pick 3 activities. So just not forcing the issue. If they struggle with quite a few letters, have them work on them in groups of 10 instead of overwhelming them with 26. So maybe this big pack of 26 cards would be overwhelming to them, getting through all 26. So say, you know what, this week or today, we're just gonna work on these letters. And every activity we do, we're just going to use these letters. So they're seeing just these letters over and over again, then adding in a few the next day or the next week. So just don't overwhelm them with all of them if they're not ready. I know some of them are definitely ready and some could definitely use some more work in individual letters. It's okay to reward with them with treats. I know in a school setting, we don't always do that, hardly ever actually. Praise usually is good enough, but sometimes if you say, hey, every letter you get today out of these 10 cards that you get correct without my help, you get a Skittle or you get an M&M, it's okay. I actually rewarded my son this week when he's been doing school from home. He's been having a hard time getting his things completed, and so I would say, okay, when you're done with your subject today, each class, you get a gummy worm. It's okay to do that every once in a while. So don't try to do all games in one day. And we already said this, if they don't seem interested, just don't push it. Once they know the games, then ask them which games they'd like to play. Maybe you've played 5 different games. Let them say, hey, I want to do the bingo one today. Let them be in control. Kids like to be in control, and in situations like this, it's okay. So I hope this helped you guys. I know, like I said, it was a longer video, but I hope you got some ideas on how you can help your kids more with a one-on-one. Thank you.